राधिका देख रही है?
वाह अनु, तेरे बर्तन तो कितने चमक रहे हैं।
ये होती है 100 नींबुओं की ताकत। वैसे तेरा बीको बर्तन ऐसे चमकाता है क्या?
हाँ, बर्तन तो अच्छे चमकाता है, पर तेरे डिश वॉश में तुझे एलएएस भी तो मिलता है, जो तुझे स्किन इरिटेशन दे सकता है, वो भी फ्री में। बीको में ये सब कहाँ?
तू तो जानती है, फ्री की चीजें मैं कभी नहीं छोड़ती।
जो विम में है वो बीको में नहीं, इसलिए स्विच टू बीको।
ओए इशू, देख रहा है मेरा यूनिफॉर्म? तुम चकाचक। हाँ यार, तेरी मम्मी कौन सा डिटर्जेंट यूज करती है? अरे वही वाला जिसको दाग अच्छे लगते हैं। मेरी मम्मी तो बीको यूज करती है, कपड़े तो अच्छे साफ करता है। और तेरे डिटर्जेंट वाली बात नहीं है, तेरे डिटर्जेंट में तो एलएएस है, बीआईटी है, जो तेरे को स्किन इरिटेशन और एलर्जी दे सकता है। बीको में तो ये सब है ही नहीं यार। तू बुरा मत मान यार, मैं बात करूंगा तेरी मम्मी से।
जो सिर्फ एक्सेल में है वो बीको में नहीं, इसलिए स्विच टू बीको।
Welcome to my live stream. I'm Shweta Purandare, and today, as you have seen, we are going to be taking stock of the latest BECO ads, rather, advertising campaign by BECO, taking a dig at Hindustan Unilever, the giants in the cleansing category of products. So, the dishwash category and laundry detergent category, Unilever is a significant brand, and to take on such a brand is really a very courageous move. But was it a smart move? Because today I'm going to be discussing about 5 blatant mistakes that BECO team has done and a deep dive into why those things are wrong. And if time permits, we will also talk about what they could have done differently to stay out of trouble. Because fear mongering, denigration, and using completely wrong set of parameters for comparative advertising is not a smart move. And we will talk about that in detail. So, those of you who are watching my live stream for the first time, please subscribe because I wish to bring more and more such live stream for your benefit to understand the advertising rules in India and doing these live ad checks. And do check my latest videos on the Vimal Ilaichi ad controversy, and you will surely enjoy. When BECO advertisements started trickling down, I was a bit surprised. The first advertisement came and I said, this is a hoarding. Maybe it's a tactical move by BECO because nowadays advertisers and brands, not all of them, some of them, brands want controversy because controversy is generating huge publicity for them. Maybe it's a bad publicity, but the brand gets known immediately overnight all over the country. So I thought maybe BECO has made this move using the same strategy, but it was not so. In fact, when it became a full fledged advertising campaign, I said this is a huge blunder the brand is making. Why? Because the brand did not stop only at few hoardings. They have gone ahead and made full fledged TV commercials also. And as you know, huge resources go into making of a television commercial, and television commercials are not done for a temporary period of say 5 days or even 5 weeks rather, because once a tvc is created spending huge amounts of money, it has to run at least for several months if not years. So if so much investment has been made in creating this advertising campaign, I wish BECO should have taken some expert advice in making sure that the advertising claims are bulletproof, complaint proof, and they can defend it if challenged by competitor. I'm even more surprised that how Unilever has not managed to get a stay for these ads, stopping them from being aired. Because even today, if I check the BECO website, I'm seeing the claims very much out there because the court has given them a date. Few days later, there will be a hearing where both sides would be heard and a decision will be taken on that. So let us see if my ad check today, how does it tally with whatever gets discussed in the court hearing and whatever is the outcome. So let's get started. Let me share with you the very first ad that I came across. So this is a dishwash liquid comparison. They are comparing versus Vim. They are comparing their product and saying that why consumers should stop using Vim and switch to BECO product. Here the body copy says studies show that linear alkyl benzene sulfonate, we'll call it LAS for simplicity, which is a cleansing agent, a surfactant, which forms a major, is a main ingredient in any cleansing product. Surfactant will be the main ingredient because the job of a dishwash liquid is to clean. So you have to have an effective cleansing agent. So they are saying that linear alkyl benzene sulfonate can cause skin irritation, and Vim dishwash gel contains LAS upward of 8%. Firstly, in comparative advertisements, and from a legal standpoint also, one can brag about their product. In fact, courts have allowed even superlative claims being made. You can say your product is the best, and some of these claims the courts have allowed, saying that some exaggeration, some puffery is permissible in advertising. You can definitely brag about your product. However, what is not allowed is denigrating competition. So you can compare your product versus competition. Do not denigrate. At the same time, this comparison has to be factual, it has to be truthful, it has to be apple to apple comparison, and you can't pick and choose parameters and show a distorted image and show competitor product in poor light. Hello, Aryaman Kapoor. Thanks for joining my live stream. I hope you enjoy this case study. And feel free to put your queries on the chat window. And stay connected because this is a very interesting case study. This is a battle. It's a brand war being fought between a big brand like Unilever, and BECO wants to take them head on. And in my live stream, I am highlighting blatant mistakes BECO has done. And my role is as an advertising regulations expert and a consultant, my role is to advise brands and advertisers how to avoid such mistakes. So you will benefit if you are from the advertising field or marketing field, you will benefit from this discussion. So coming back to the comparative claims, bragging is allowed, denigration is not allowed, comparison has to be factual. And in this particular case, you can't pick an ingredient and say that this ingredient can cause allergy or it can cause skin irritation. The wording is very important because the finished product matters. It's not just the ingredient. Ingredient is part of a very composite formula. It is there in a matrix, and how it is being incorporated in the formula and how does it work in real life has to be taken into consideration. If you take, oh, you're from legal field, fantastic. So if an ingredient, 100% of an ingredient, suppose you take and say, okay, this ingredient causes skin irritation. Obviously, the ingredient, if it's a chemical, if you use it in 100% concentration, it could cause problem. But that is not the case. So here, The comparison of picking one ingredient, which is very commonly used ingredient, and not talking about the finished product is a huge blunder, because does BECO have any study to prove that Vim Dish Wash consumer feedback data, whether in market experience shows that consumers have any adverse effect using Vim Dish Wash? If this was the case, this product would not have been allowed, because in India we have something called as Bureau of Indian Standards, and the ingredients that can be put in such products, there is a list of ingredients which are allowed to be used and ingredients which are generally considered not recognized as safe, and these are clearly demarcated. And do you think a market leader like Unilever will go ahead and use some ingredient which is going to cause adverse reaction? They have to remain in the market, right? Big multinational companies are very, very careful about product safety. So before putting any products into the market, lot of rigorous testing is conducted in house. It is done by independent third party. There is lot of consumer research that gets done, and only after everything is checked, the products are launched into the market. So BECO has referred to some ingredient specific data, and instead of saying that this ingredient could cause skin irritation, they have said it can cause skin irritation. And they do not have any in market data to show that Vim dishwash, there is any reported study or the market research whether they have taken, or consumer feedback forms that they have taken to show that this is a problematic product. So how can you say that, okay, the disclaimer says based on test conducted by an independent third party laboratory? Now this test is nothing to do with safety of Vim dishwash liquid in use situation, the way a consumer is going to be using. So the whole case falls flat on its face. On the other side, if you see, BECO is talking that they are India's number one choice for natural cleansers. Now, this is a very strong claim to make. India's number one choice. This is a numerical claim, it's kind of a leadership claim. And for such a claim, they should have had a qualifier. What is the basis for BECO to say that they are India's number one choice? Do they have any market research data? And if this study, if it is India's number one choice, has it been done in major cities and representative population across all over India? At least four major metros, you know, uh, uh, and what kind of population? Uh, who has conducted this study? Is it an independent third party that has conducted the study and given this? If they have conducted an independent study for ingredients, have they done an independent study to show that they are India's number one choice? It's a preference, consumer preference. Based on what? And what products have they compared versus? So while BECO is BECO is attacking Unilever Vim dishwash, they are vulnerable for their own claim they are making in this hoarding. So don't be surprised if Unilever hits back on some of their claims, because the entire proposition, the BECO, the brand is based on environment friendly benefits. So if you see the name also, it's BECO, and very cleverly that's BECO. So greenwashing, BECO has to be very, very careful. If you throw stones at other people, remember that you are in a glass house. And if you have awakened a dragon, I wouldn't say sleeping, but a dragon, be prepared. For your one attack, there will be 10 counter attacks on your all other weak spots, on all other weak advertising claims. So BECO, I hope you have done this after a thorough due diligence and advertising claims analysis, and what kind of support you should have had before making such claims. So this is the first hoarding, which is about Vim dishwash gel. And so basically, it is scaremongering, scaring consumers of Vim that, oh, you're using this product, it is unsafe and it's going to cause skin irritation. Secondly, that's a denigration, of course, and it is very unfair in competition. So, from Advertising Standards Council of India point of view, it is in violation of their Chapter 4, which is to do with fairness in competition. But in this case, both the parties, they have not even approached ASCI, which is a self-regulatory body, because the nature of issue was such that Unilever had to go and urgently stop this ad from airing and for these hoardings to be taken down. And as I said earlier, I'm surprised how they did not manage to get a stay. And this is coming up for hearing. So now let us look at the second advertisement. Second advertisement is about Surf Excelmatic. And Surf Excelmatic, they are comparing the top loading washing machine detergent with their top loading washing machine detergent. And in addition to LAS, here they are talking about BIT, which is benz isothiazolinone. And BIT, benz isothiazolinone, is a preservative. And you'll be surprised that, oh, even laundry detergents have preservative. So, yes. And as you are aware, preservative is not an active ingredient, it's not a cleanser. It is added in very, very small quantities, and its role is to protect the formulation from going bad. So, the role of BIT here is as a preservative. Quantities used are very small quantities. So it is not as if it's like 100% BIT in it. It will be in less than 1%. I have not looked at the technical report because this obviously was so horribly wrong. I said there is no need to get into what exact percentage of preservative is there. Of course, I looked at the lab report, and the lab report was only showing whether this ingredient is present and at what level it is present. So here the hoarding says studies show that benz isothiazolinone BIT, linear alkyl benzene sulfonate LAS, can cause skin irritation and allergic reactions. Surf Excelmatic liquid top load contains 277 milligram per kg BIT. You can see for yourself. The quantity mentioned is in milligram per kilogram. Yeah. And LA is upward of 10%. Now, LA is, as I said, is a cleansing agent. And obviously, for a detergent, LAS is a key ingredient. It's a main ingredient. Here also, they have gone completely overboard because they have distorted the literature references regarding BIT, because this preservative and the allergenic potential of this preservative has been mentioned, but it is mentioned for a very different category of products such as paints. And I looked up the literature, and it says that this could be in painting industry, and it could be airborne. However, the literature reference also very clearly says current literature has not shown that it is a common allergen. So what literature references has BECO referred to? Yeah. Secondly, the allergenic potential of a product. Suppose you're using a skin cream and you're applying on your skin and then you develop some allergy, one can understand. But we are talking about a top loading washing machine detergent which you are never going to touch with your hand. And the hand wash detergent compositions are very different from machine wash detergent composition. Machine wash detergent compositions are very potent. Many times they have bioenzymes also. And you are not supposed to touch it with your hand. It is meant to be taken in a scoop. You put it in the washing machine, you run the washing machine, clothes are washed, clothes are after the detergent cycle, there is a clean water cycles that happen. Clothes are rinsed, and there is no residual detergent that is going to be sitting on your clothes, which, according to BECO, is going to cause allergy. So it's a very convoluted way of saying that, oh, see how these products are unsafe. And did you notice something? Apart from saying India's number one choice for natural cleanser, does BECO have anything to claim about their product efficacy? Because both these hoardings I saw, and I said, nowhere they are talking whether BECO's products, be it dishwash or be it top loading detergent, are they effective? Are they as effective? Are they better than Vim or Surf for that matter? They are completely silent. So when you have nothing to show that you are better than competition, are you going to take a dig at, isolating and taking only one ingredient and talking about that, which is completely out of context? The tests that you have done are only showing presence of these ingredients. You are quoting only literature references that this could in some cases cause skin irritation. Because this is not as if, like, if 100 people are using Vim, all 100 are going to get skin irritation. No, the literature doesn't say so. Even if you take BECO's word, it is not going to happen like that. Now, both these brands are reputed brands, credible brands, and BECO is causing lot of harm to their reputation in the market. So naturally, you can imagine Unilever team must be so very upset with this whole thing. And if you go on dissecting, there are so many shortcomings in BECO's approach. They don't have. I don't know how their team has. Have they even thought through? Because typically, for any advertising claim to be made, a multifunctional team looks at a product communication, and especially when you're making comparative ads and you have decided that you're going to take on the market leader. Sympathy card is not going to work. Oh, we are a very small brand and we are taking on a giant, and that's why people please buy us because we don't have this particular ingredient. My question is, what efficacy and safety studies does BECO product have? Because tomorrow this could backfire on you if any consumers were to complain against your product about skin irritation and allergy. Because sourcing from natural ingredients doesn't mean that the product is going to be safe always. You know, as in the industry, they say that poison can also be a natural poison, right? It can originate from natural sources. So, natural is not always safe. That one has to remember. So, apart from this, let's talk about what BECO team could have done differently. So, two people are still watching this live stream, so I hope you're enjoying it. And if you like it, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and do share this within your network, because if more people benefit from this, I'll be very happy that my knowledge and my experience is going to help other fellow advertising professionals. So let's now talk about what are the things that BECO team should have done if they wanted to attack competition, what they could have done differently. So, firstly, I think it is very risky to put the branding as such. in comparative advertisements, uh, this is a very high risk if you're showing the brand name and an identifiable pack. So often, even big advertisers, when they are showing comparative advertisements, what they do is they show a generic pack. Smart consumers can identify, okay, this is a blue pouch, or this is a lemon yellow shaped dishwash bottle, but you pixelate the brand names and you show a generic product, and you have an indirect mention. So are you using thank you, Ariman. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much for your support. And you will love my other videos. I'm 100% sure on the surrogate advertisement. And those are like pre-shot videos and edited videos. So they are very crisp and you would definitely love them. On FSSAI regulations also, I have made videos. So thank you very much, because the purpose of live stream is to connect with my audience, and this feedback really, really helps me, motivates me. So, in comparative advertisements, be generic, be indirect, don't show competitor brand name, don't show their trademark, because Unilever has now also said it's a trademark infringement. So if the comparison would have been factual, that was a different story, because I don't know whether you remember, there was a fight between two hair oil brands, and that comparative advertisement very clearly compared prices of both the products. So they said our product is X and we are half of Y product's price, and it was a factual comparison. So they could show the branding, they could call out the name of the product also. So such kind of comparative advertisement was allowed. Secondly, they should have worded it differently, that do you know your favorite or the most frequently used uh, dishwash liquid may have this ingredient which could cause irritation in some people. So you are not labeling it as, okay, this ingredient is bad, because these ingredients are permitted to be used in personal care and home care products. So if they were unsafe, government would not allow it. So something like that is very dangerous. So ingredient specific thing, if you had to call out, you should have said it in this way. However, that is not the right approach also, because we cannot, as I have explained, we cannot talk about one particular ingredient. Has BECO done any testing, comparative testing of the finished product? So have they done any patch test, for example? Because for establishing safety of a product, patch testing is required. And if they would have done patch test of their product versus patch test of the dishwash liquid, for example, and in the same identical situation with the same standard protocol, how do the two products fare? Then it's a different story. They could have said in a different manner that our products are more well tolerated, but I'm not very sure just by saying our products don't have LAs means their formulation is completely safe, because Unilever can very well reverse engineer their formula and find out what ingredients they have. It is very easy through sophisticated analytical techniques to find out what ingredients are present in a formula, and there will be some literature reference or the other to say that, okay, this ingredient can cause problem in some people, because no ingredient is 100% safe. Do you know, even water, you may think, oh, water is such a safe ingredient, but do you know some people have allergy to water? So are you going to say that, okay, this detergent has 60% water which could cause allergy? Of course not, because that's distorting the true thing which is present. So if they did not have any competitor product specific data, they should have just left the competitor name out, kept it as a, a kept it at as their own product related. Talk about your own product, talk about that we are okay, we have natural cleansers and we perform this way and efficacy is like this, etc., etc. So this is an interesting case study, and I'm very curious to find out. I'll be very surprised if the courts allow BECO ads to continue. And BECO has made a big mistake in such comparison. And in any advertising campaign, whenever you are coming up with comparative advertisement, you are making very strong claims, you're going aggressively after competition, you have to do risk assessment, because it is very easy to create a hoarding. It is very easy to create a digital ad, an online ad, like they have a website page, or even for that matter, a print advertisement. You can create, and if it gets challenged, you can withdraw it, and there is not much loss. However, they have gone ahead and they have made TVCs. So, I don't know whether you saw the TVCs. I'll play the TVC once again. So you can take a look at how the advertisements show the competitor ads.
राधिका देख रही है?
वाह अनु, तेरे बर्तन तो कितने चमक रहे हैं।
ये होती है 100 नींबुओं की ताकत। वैसे तेरा बीको बर्तन ऐसे चमकाता है क्या?
हाँ, बर्तन तो अच्छे चमकाता है, पर तेरे डिश वॉश में तुझे एलएएस भी तो मिलता है, जो तुझे स्किन इरिटेशन दे सकता है, वो भी फ्री में। बीको में ये सब कहाँ?
तू तो जानती है, फ्री की चीजें मैं कभी नहीं छोड़ती।
जो विम में है वो बीको में नहीं, इसलिए स्विच टू बीको।
ओए इशू, देख रहा है मेरा यूनिफॉर्म? तुम चकाचक। हाँ यार, तेरी मम्मी कौन सा डिटर्जेंट यूज करती है? अरे वही वाला जिसको दाग अच्छे लगते हैं। मेरी मम्मी तो बीको यूज करती है, कपड़े तो अच्छे साफ करता है। पर तेरे डिटर्जेंट वाली बात नहीं है, तेरे डिटर्जेंट में तो एलएएस है, बीआईटी है, जो तेरे को स्किन इरिटेशन और एलर्जी दे सकता है। बीको में तो ये सब है ही नहीं यार। तू बुरा मत मान यार, मैं बात करूंगा तेरी मम्मी से।
जो सर्फ एक्सेल में है वो बीको में नहीं, इसलिए स्विच टू बीको।
So BECO has made big blunders, and I hope they realize that. And going forward, they are very careful in creating any advertising campaign that they make, because firstly, if you are making comparative claims, the comparison has to be factual, it has to be truthful. You can't take something out of context and create a fear, create panic among consumers about an established reputed brand which has a significant market share. And you cannot make any claims without any basis and doubt safety of competitor products, because it is very unfair in competition. Choosing a wrong set of parameters has been the basic mistake that BECO has done, because you can't just show a lab test. I think some time back there was brand war in SPF 50 claims. There, the comparison based on lab test and in vitro test of SPF protection factor was a right comparison. In this case, it is not so. You are not comparing efficacy of your own product. You are not talking about efficacy of your own product. You are keeping quiet about your ingredients and whether they could cause any skin irritation or allergy. And for competitor product, the finished product works very differently. The end use is very different, because as I said, the top loading washing machine detergent nobody is going to use with hand, and the allergy potential that they are talking about happens only in the paint industries, maybe, And secondly, it is an occupational hazard. It has been reported that people who are in the industry of manufacturing the raw material could face a problem because they are working in that environment, and maybe they may inhale those particles, which is manufacturing of that ingredient, the preservative that is being talked about. This is nothing to do with what you or I will experience when we are using this product in our homes. So, Beko, make sure every advertisement is checked by your R&D team. You have a technical regulatory expert looking at these ads very, very carefully with a magnifying glass. Each and every word has to be assessed. Risk assessment has to be made. Not just words, but you also have to look at uh, what are the images that you're using. If you are using any numerical claim for your own product, don't forget, you need to put a qualifier. You need to indicate the basis of your claim. If you're a number one choice, if you're a preferred product, what is the basis? Has it been done by an independent third party on a representative population or not? So, I hope the regulatory team in BECO makes use of this as a tutorial on how to do regulatory assessment of advertising communication. The legal team also has to look at every piece of communication before it goes out, it is published out there. So, can Surf sue Beko on these basis, ma'am? Of course. Aryaman Surf has Unilever basically has already approached Delhi High Court, and as I said, for both these matters, both these products, Vim and Surf, are Unilever products. So I want to see how it goes, and both the parties are represented by big wigs. You know, you are from a legal field, so Kapil Sibal and Chandar Lal. These are the two names who always appear for intra-industry disputes, and Delhi High Court is their playground. So both are big wigs. So Beko not only has wasted money in creating these advertising communications, but they will be now wasting lot of money in fighting this legal battle, where outcome, the chances are very bleak for Beko. So Beko, be careful, and I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Let us meet again soon next week for another live stream. Enjoy other videos on my channel. Thank you very much.